I am a purple maker's assistant, and this is a worse job that disappeared during the siege of Constantinople when all the purple makers were wiped out. So we reckon that this is the first time in over 500 years that this particular process has been demonstrated, don't we, Jim?
Yeah, that's quite true. Yes.
One of the shortcomings of television is that you can't smell the incredible nif that's coming off this rather disgusting mess. Why are we killing all these innocent shellfish?
Well, this, Tony, is the basis of the whole of the imperial purple industry. This was the dye, the most prestigious dye in the world, in fact. The Romans, of course, made it an imperial monopoly, and this went on right into the Middle Ages, in actual fact.
So how do you make it out of these things?
Yes, well, basically, we have the mollusk. This is the Murex trunculus, and what we have to do is to make an incision into what, in fact, is the hypobranchial gland, and when we've done that, the dye or the precursor comes out, and the air, in fact, oxidizes it to the purple pigment. But of course, the old dyes had to do this on a vast scale, and this involved, in fact...
Oh!
Now,
I really didn't know you were going to do that.
Don't hit it too hard, otherwise you get all the entrails over the floor.
Don't tell me, it was you who whacked it.
That's the technique.
Yeah.
So we'll have to work through these. I've kept these on one side. I've done those for you previously.
I don't want to hear that hard.
That's the idea.
Smashing a few stinking shellfish is stomach-turning enough, but the purple makers had to smash at least 1,000 to dye just one cloak. I can understand why only royalty could afford it.
And put them into the pot.
God, doesn't it affect you?
Well, no, perhaps I'm used to it. There we are, some more over there. Those we did earlier, of course. So now these will be put into the water, and then eventually, to get the actual dye, it takes about 10 days fermentation.
Come on. In here like this?
That's it. This is in order to extract the dye, or rather the pigment, from the macerated mollusks.
How much water do you want?
That's about right, yep. Then the dye will...
Now stand for an hour or two to collect pigment in liquid, add wood ash for its alkali, and leave the putrefying shellfish to rot and stink for 10 whole days.
Because we want it to ferment, and so that's what we've got here.
Yeah.
Now you notice we have a lid on it.
Why is that?
Well, basically we want to keep it in the dark. Otherwise, what happens is that the light, in fact, can break the dye down to what we call debrominate it. In other words, we take the redness out and we end up with a blue. So we can end up with this colour as opposed to that one.
How do we know when this is ready?
And this will be tested, in fact, either by the feel, which feels slippery, or by the taste.
And this is shellfish that have been fermenting for 10 days?
Exactly, yep.
Oh! Oh, wow, that was bad out there.
It is powerful stuff.
That is really disgusting. And what happens when you feel it? What do you,
if it feels slippery, this gives an idea of the degree of alkalinity. If it was acid, it would be rougher. That's the technique.
Oh. And then they really tasted it?
And the other way is to taste it, in fact.
I don't know.
It's rather powerful.
I don't know what it tasted like. It's just a thought, really. It's just so disgusting. Only having done the fermented mollusk taste test, is it now time to put the cloth in the vat, lid firmly back on.
So we should leave it really for half an hour or so to pick up the dye.
Leave it till I'm dead if you like. Oh, that was an adventure. Blimey. And after half an hour, it's time to expose the cloth to the air and see if it's worked. Oh, look! Wow. That's really changing fast, isn't it?
So when it comes out of the vat, it takes usually a couple of minutes. It goes a greeny colour and then slowly turns the purple colour, as you can see.
Look at that now, isn't that fantastic? We've really proved the process works. So the lives of all these poor little foul-smelling shellfish weren't sacrificed in vain. And if it hadn't been for all the stirring and the bubbling and the feeling and the tasting, then our royals would never have been swathed in all this kind of stuff. they'd have been dressed in fuchsia pink or lime green. Join me next time when I'll be down the bottom of the careers barrel again, scraping up some more worse jobs. Next time I'm on my knees down a mine as a child harrier, up in the air finding out what it took to make Brunel's reputation, and on my back keeping the whole industrial revolution moving.